Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
I am Nick.
I'm Tyler.
And this week, Justin joins us. Say what's up, Justin.
What's going on, sinners? It's good to finally grace your presence.
This is a special episode. This is his birthday episode, and we can't wait to get the ball rolling.
Let's do it, man. Actually, I made that up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Man, out of all the things that movie gets wrong, that song, I think, turned out pretty well.
Yeah, especially for no context. Whenever you're reading the book, it's like you're just looking at words that are supposed to be lyrics, and they just, they took them and they threw them on a jam, and
Yeah,
it sounds okay.
I think it turned out good.
I think that'd be pretty tough if you're having to look at lyrics to a song, especially in like a book.
And ridiculous lyrics at that. I don't know if you could actually understand any of the lyrics. It says something like,
Something like there's a wolf,
there's a
right
wolf
behind
you. Actually, it's just a dog.
Yeah.
Came
It's
off
some
fast.
lubricant on his
My
head.
my hat smells like lubricant.
Okay, yeah. So, sinners, this week we got Justin Espin, our editor, our producer, our co-Cinaman in our movie adventures.
If you're ever listening to the Cinamen and you think, man, they sound good, it's because of Justin.
Thank you all very much.
No, thank you.
I
Thank you.
work very hard, and I appreciate the work that you guys do. I appreciate the listeners for listening.
Sinners for sinning.
The sinners for sinning every time.
Ooh. Sinners for Cinamaning. That's cool. No?
No.
We'll work on it. It's a work in progress. Jeez, Nick. To come up with something better. So, same thing as last week. We had Justin pick some of his, I don't know if I'd say favorite, maybe just movies that, I don't know. Well, let's just have Justin, what do you,
Yeah.
what were our three choices and why? Why'd you pick those, man?
I picked Constantine because it's been my favorite movie of all time for a fairly long time. I picked John Dies at the End because it's my favorite book, and I feel like it's the best book that got squished into a movie, the way that they put it all together. As well, I picked Attack the Block because I felt like it tied it all together very well, and it's just a great movie in general that not a lot of people watch because it didn't get pushed around as the same as the regular blockbusters and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it definitely didn't get the same go around that a lot of movies get. And I'd say my favorite alien movie for sure. Maybe my favorite sci-fi movie.
It was
Overall.
way better than
It's amazing.
I didn't think it'd be bad, but it was way better than I could have thought.
Yeah, when you said you really liked it, I got really excited. It's hard to get... You want to start there? You want to start Attack the Block?
Yeah, man, we're already into it.
Since that's the movie that everybody actually watched. this
Sinners, spoilers for everything coming up.
week. Yeah,
So,
heavy spoilers.
What
All
up?
things spoiler.
be prepared.
Don't say we didn't warn you.
Right. I actually like this movie as well. I will say it did take me like 5 to 10 minutes to kind of get into it, to the point where I was like, you know what? I don't know if I can understand these guys. I'm going to turn this off. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't, because...
Very heavy accents.
I don't
Very
understand how
heavy
people get
accents.
hung up on the accent, man. It really doesn't trip me up even a hair.
I had a hard time understanding some, but it didn't. Like, it bothered me for about 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
I never wanted to turn it off. I was still very invested, but after that, it didn't bother me.
Yeah,
I think it's funny more than anything.
I love that.
Oh, for
I
sure.
wish I had that accent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we've seen a lot of movies with the would you say British accents?
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah, but these are like ghetto British accents.
And I didn't even know London, England had ghettos.
Of course they have ghettos.
Like, I was
my God.
like, what? Oh my god, I thought London was just like the most, like, merriest place on earth.
This
No,
was like
dude,
a culture shock for you? Is that what you're...
It was a little bit, I was like, what? This girl's,
You don't remember that scene in Hostel with the kids?
I've never seen Hostel.
You never seen
what?
Hostel?
No, I never saw Hostel.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
horror movie?
You gotta
It's
ask
Eli
Caleb, she'll
Roth,
let
I
you.
know, and I suck.
Oh my gosh.
I can barely, I'm going to take Cinaman off my Facebook page, because...
It's actually good. I wouldn't bother with the sequels, probably, but...
But anyways, in it they have these kids that are little gangsters that'll run your pockets, and they're brutal. From what I know about the little English gangster kids, they're savages.
I always thought in English you were like a awesome, super secret government spy, or you were just the common people, you know?
You were just drinking tea and that was it?
I thought...
You're drinking tea or you're drinking beer?
Yeah.
I thought there was very few
Not very much water in
guys
England.
causing
People don't know
crime and being hoodlums and stuff. So to see like a little roving
Warm tea and
teenage
warm
gang of
beer.
this, I was like, okay. And Boyega. was the leader, right? Moses was his name?
Yeah, kid from Star Wars.
Moses. Yeah. This was his
I love Moses.
first, one of his first.
I don't know.
Before his
I would say it's his best.
Yeah, he nailed it.
I just want to put down Star Wars. Like, I definitely like this better than every Star Wars movie.
Well, and whoever wrote it too, their lines are so epic. Like, blah 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 blah, bruv, believe it.
Yeah.
Which I wonder how much
Trust, bruv.
I wonder how much of that is improv and how much of that was scripted. Because you think it's got to be just the way they talk, you know?
Yeah, 'cause a lot
On
of it's super
IMDb,
action.
it said that Joe Cornish did a lot of research as far as like how they talk there. So I guess he really like nailing that, and he did was like a big deal for him.
Because it sounds very fluid. It's like, and I'm sure it's like a lot of the acting and stuff, but it sounds very
That sounds like
camaraderie.
fresh off the street.
Yeah,
you know?
like it sounds very well not rehearsed.
And kid actors, which it's hard to find good kid actors, it seems like. And
Yeah.
these guys nailed it, I think.
Well, I think what draws me to the movie first is I'm really down for any movie that's got like the youth or like younger kids taking on this seemingly impossible threat. You know, like if they were against zombies, I'd still be like, oh my god, this is awesome. Because I like to think that'd be me. If that happened and I was that age, I'd be one of those guys. Maybe the guy that doesn't die, hopefully, but you know.
Not only did they handle it, but they ran into it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They went towards the danger.
They didn't like try and escape and settle the problem, you know, like coincidentally, like, you know, it just kept coming to them. They went balls into it, you know, weaponed up, suited up, had like their cool like pocket rocket and bikes and
That was one of
with
my favorite
pegs.
scenes when they got tooled up.
Yeah, when
That's cool.
when the kid limps into his mom's apartment, she's like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And he's like, "Oh, I hurt my leg playing football." Then he walks out with a bat down his pants. I was like, "You crazy son of a bitch!"
He definitely tripped me up because I was like, "What? Where'd he get hurt? Like, what'd I miss?" And then I see it, and I was, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
Nice.
then there's
that was smooth.
Yeah, that was super smooth.
I would not have thought of that trying to pull something like that at our place. I mean, I'd have gotten it out somehow, but not like that.
I
Not
just
that
like,
easy.
I'm going for a late night of baseball. And I'm going to watch out for all the other guys on the block. That's what they
Yeah.
live in big blocks
Block,
is what they call them.
So wait, yeah, real quick. Block is just the big building they're in.
Yeah, it's their apartment structure.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they said 160 doors in it, and I was like, in your neighborhood? That sounds
160
kind
doors in this
of
block.
that sounds kind of small, like especially with what you're in. So it is just their singular building.
I
Yeah.
believe so.
Okay.
It might be like the
surrounding.
Okay, I was.
They
kinda
might use
like,
it interchangeably. You know what I mean?
Very vague, maybe.
So if we're breaking down the plot here, the kids see an alien crash into a car.
while they're
like,
robbing
right through the roof of the car.
the secondary lead character.
So while they're mugging her,
Yeah.
she takes off. Alien crashes. Then the alien attacks Moses. And
While
runs
he's
off.
trying to rob the car.
Yeah. So the alien smashes into the car. He notices that it's a nice car, so he's going to try to reach in and like take anything he can get. And the alien attacks him, runs off, and the kids chase him up the hill. And I thought that shot was really good too. All the smoke was coming out, and so the kids shot the bottle rocket.
Yeah.
So they shot some kind of fireworks, some kind of bottle
fireworks.
rocket to confuse the alien. Then they all run in one at a time and start wailing on him. And then they they walk through the streets triumphantly carrying this alien.
Like an alien carcass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Like an
carrying it through
alien
the streets.
backpack, I think, at one
Well,
point.
I think they wrapped their belt around it
yeah.
to make it to where they could use it as a
That's
backpack.
awesome.
That was cool. Yeah, I did like how they did that.
Now that you mentioned it, that shot was awesome where they kind of like, let's go get him, and they all run into this like super small, almost looks like a clown scene, like bunch of guys run into a small room, they
And
whoop this alien's ass.
And you get more, I think, from not seeing the fight.
Right, yeah, it's just a still shot, camera's entirely still the whole time, and then they just kind of like file out one at a time. Like, yeah, good job, guys, high fives and good games all around.
Yeah.
And they walk out with an alien trophy.
Well, speaking of not being able to see the shot, how about the monsters? The cosmic horror of these glowing mouth gorilla things.
Dude, these were like
Yeah.
giant like werewolf beasts.
Werewolf,
like
gorilla, wolf-looking motherfuckers.
Blacker than black.
when they
Blacker than my cousin Ray.
They were all so were
something.
they all male, and then the one that crashed in the car was like a female or something? Or
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so
I got kind of tripped up there too. I had to have somebody.
essentially, the first one that crashed that they killed was the female, and I think it was like a scout, right? So it lands, checks things out, and then the rest follow. Well, they kill the first one, and then
the blood that's on them, which is only visible through blacklight.
so it wasn't blood; it was a pheromone.
Yeah, I guess it's more like blood's the wrong word. It's like a pheromone, and that's because you notice they were all after Moses. These
Yeah, the
giant
aliens have
alien
been
beasts.
chased like the whole time. They're hiding in different apartments, and the aliens keep finding them, no matter where they go. And it's because of an invisible pheromone that gets on you when you touch them. And that's also why they were following hi-hats around.
Right? Yeah, the blocks. Number
Rapper.
one rapper, drug dealer,
Ah, we could have started with that song.
crime lord guy.
Man.
Oh,
Get that
that
snitch. Get the strap.
was a
Don't
good
give
song.
a fuck. Blah, blah, blah.
That was pretty good actually.
Yeah, it was actually a really good song, I think. For,
Yeah.
See,
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought Hi-Hat was a weird name. I always think of the Warriors. There's that gang called the Hi-Hats.
Yeah.
That's immediately what I thought of. But that was awesome. Nick Frost, hilarious, as always.
always.
Super
yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, Nick Frost. I like that he was like the big name draw to that, and it was almost if they had made that now with that cast, I bet they would have been like John Boyega, right? All over, all over Attack the Block, and then there's,
Well, I think the guy who directed this collaborates with Edgar Wright
All the
from
time,
to
yeah.
And I think they were the two doing Ant-Man before it got ruined.
Before it got marbled.
Yeah. Marbled.
Fred Wright stepped down because he was like, "This is a lot of pressure, and I just don't know that I could."
Hold on, we went over this.
Yeah,
Go back
we
and
did.
listen to Edgar Wright or Edgar Wrong.
He's mediocre. We talked about this a whole lot.
Well, remember my official opinion was we
How'd you
can't
think?
say the movie would have been worse, or we couldn't say that would have been better. We know
Look, it's a good thing he didn't direct Attack the Block. I'd have probably hated it.
Oh man.
Okay, I don't.
We got off on a good foot today. Let's not dive into Edgar Wright.
All right, all right.
So let's get to the soundtrack. Did you guys get into that at all?
I
or-
did. Yeah, the music was awesome.
It was pumping the whole time, man.
The sound, even like not music, but like the sound effects, the sci-fi kind of like the noises the monsters made, like all that was just
the monsters in general were such a highlight. Like they didn't look like aliens, outside the female. Which
Well, see, that's the
clearly looked like,
misconception. Like I like non-humanoid aliens, because what are the chances that there's going to be intelligent life, or I don't even know if they were intelligent or unintelligent, because they had a different.
I think they were like the Gazorpazorps from Rick and Morty.
Okay.
Like somebody threw a female down there, and then they threw the males down there, and they were like, "Yeah, or you repopulate this planet and completely destroy it."
yeah,
yeah,
something like that.
the female definitely looked more alien than the males. The males.
Well, the males were just
They
the
weren't
female
typical
with hair.
horror movie aliens. They didn't look like they weren't like squiddy and tentacle, or they weren't like greasy and slimy.
Green,
they
gray
weren't like
skin.
green with big eyes.
So they were mammalian almost, like they had like the fur.
Yeah.
And then they run like gorillas, which I thought was awesome.
That was cool.
And the first shot of them, I think, is you see the teeth. It's like almost like triangles, and they're like, oh, something about his eyes. There's someone's eyes over there or something. And then
Yeah.
you
I
see
don't-
the snarl in his
I don't
teeth,
think
and you're
those are
like,
eyes.
oh shit, that was cool. Instantly, you're like, okay, all right, I'm gonna sit back for this one because this looks like it's gonna be good.
What'd you guys think of Probs and Mayhem?
Oh, it's awesome.
Little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were savages.
Reminded me of my self when I was younger.
I just love how they like work so hard to like be recognized as badasses, and then like in the end, the guy's like
Props and Mayhem.
Mayhem, right?
Well, how did the kid? I'm curious how the kid got gas in the squirt gun.
I was curious about that too. I thought maybe they just like siphoned a car, because they're
Could
like
be,
little
yeah.
hoodlums, and they got, all around the block, bruv.
Oh, I didn't
You know?
think about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. The gas
So maybe, well, my first,
It just seems like a feat for a child,
I'm glad they got the badass moment. Like I feel like
true.
a lot of movies would like tease it, maybe not give it to you, but at the end they come and they even save the older kid who's
But
in
they earned it. That's the
Yeah.
best part about it.
That was awesome, man.
They're way braver than I am. At that age, I think I'd have been like, nope,
no
going
one's
home.
gonna call you Mayhem if you keep acting like such a pussy.
Yeah,
That was just the trigger he needed, man.
Yeah.
that was his
Man.
motivation, dude.
I love this movie. I love it a lot.
And I like that the ending was good, right?
Yeah.
It's a good heroic ending, but they didn't like Moses gets a key to the city. Oh, and his family they pay for all the damages because he's the hero. It's like he's getting put in the back of a police car.
Yeah, saves the
but then
block.
they're like,
Saves the block and gets arrested.
yeah, they're like, dude, you know whose name they're shouting out there, man? That's yours. That's your name. And everyone's like, Moses. That's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Is he into
It's
that
not all the
girl
way
in
Hollywood.
the
Exactly.
girl
Yeah, not
Yeah.
cliche.
Yeah.
He is into one of them.
Yeah, the darker girl who's like, it's my house, they can come in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is into her then.
I think so.
Like
I thought it was his cousin or something.
No, I don't think so.
I thought it was like
You're
sort
such
of
a-
love
such
interest.
a bad boy, Moses.
She's-
Like they clearly love
You
each
mugged
other.
that woman?
Yeah, yeah.
She was the one that was like, it's always mugging and beating people up with you and all this stuff. Like, she's the one giving him like a hard time about
Because he's the criminal with the heart of gold, you know. She loves him, but she shouldn't because he's such a bad boy.
And what
But
it
he's
was,
such a great guy at heart.
there was 4 girls, 2 of them just typical screaming and running away. One of them grabbed the lamp, broke the light, and like, you know, like,
Zap him.
ah! The one that didn't like stab him through the face
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever.
that was Moses' chick.
I was like, dude, awesome, man. These, you know, they're not just
Mosum's
The other
got
2
himself
girls ran
a
Well,
away.
good
they
girl
said
then.
something in the stairwell, like when they were running to the other apartment. She's like, the chick that they mugged earlier, which I guess we haven't explained yet. They end up teaming up with her and kind of keeping her safe, and she's like a nurse, so she takes care of Pest, the white kid who got his leg bitten by one of the aliens. But she says something about, how do you know we're going to be safe in this apartment? And he's Moses or someone was like, oh, she wouldn't be saying that if she's seen those girls fight. And so like there's already some foreshadowing that these girls can hold their own.
right. And they're the girls in the beginning that they like show this dead alien carcass to.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my god, get it away! It's probably some mutant monkey animal.
Yeah.
And then they come back around,
Yeah.
and they're
That's like
killing.
that's like their
yeah.
female squad, like around the block.
That's their you know, the chipmunks had the girl chipmunks.
like the
the
pink
Chipettes.
ladies to the T-birds.
There we go.
Yeah, there
the
you go.
Chipettes to the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
The
Girl
Barbies
Squad.
to the Kens.
There was
They're,
so much
They're
foreshadowing. in this
Powerpuff
movie.
Girls to the Rowdy Rough Boys.
That's a good one. I like that one. It's
It's a good episode too.
that is a good episode. That's right. But I liked the scenes in the hallway with like the smoke, and then all the attacks on the elevator.
Yes.
You know, like once you're in there and that thing's coming, you know, and obviously gets past the door, it's like, well,
SARS.
Yeah.
That's right. Because
that
Hi-Hat
sucks.
and those guys get killed, right?
well, Hi-Hat lives.
Hi-Hat
through
makes
that.
it out.
Most
Oh,
of
he
it.
does. Oh, he does make it out.
I
You're right.
love
Until the end.
when the elevator comes down and the one white kid who just doesn't quite fit in. He doesn't live on the block.
The one who's just going to get pot from.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nick
so he
Frost.
goes up
Yeah.
and he hits the elevator button. Elevator opens up full of Hi-Hats, 2 of his guys, and everyone's covered in blood. Hi-Hats is the only one alive. And he walks out and he's like, better get the next one. Like,
That poor guy.
yeah. Who, Hi-Hats? Oh, no. Yeah, I was going to say, Hi-Hats
nerdy
brought all
white
of it
guy.
on itself.
I like that at, I don't remember what point it was at, the kid was running around with Moses and them trying to get through, and he's like, I'm way too high for this. I'm way too high for this. You know, just, like, he's bringing that up, like, because you don't see him do anything.
Yeah.
You know, because he comes out all lazy. It would have been out of character if he just, like, all of a sudden went on an attack rampage.
I think he was like the smart guy of the group because he,
He's one that knew as a pheromone.
yeah, he's the one who figured out
Yeah.
the pheromone thing and
Who? Which one?
Is he the one they said watches
the white kid. The
Dis-
white guy,
the
not Pest.
Discovery Channel or
Yeah.
History Channel, where they said? Yeah, okay.
Well, they also said Ron does, who was
Nick Frost?
Nick Frost, yeah.
Oh, the nerdy white guy that we're talking about. He's
Yeah.
in. Or is its twin? One of our friends said it was his twin, but he's on Penny Dreadful. So it's good
Okay.
to, because I immediately was like, hey, know him, but I guess maybe it's his twin. I'm not sure. I haven't looked it up, but it was pretty good. I was bummed. I didn't care about Jerome dying in the hallway with the
Wait,
smoke.
which one was Jerome?
I just said the one that died with the smoke and the mist.
The big kid with the
okay.
glasses?
What?
The, like, rounder kid with the
Yeah,
glasses? I liked him.
I liked him.
He
No,
didn't have
Well, I didn't care about him. What I cared about the other guy with the helmet. The guy.
Oh,
like,
TJ didn't like that guy.
I didn't like it. Well, he's
Oh,
the,
man, he
he's
was
the
like
Raphael
the-
of the group.
Are you talking about Dennis?
Yeah, of course he
What's
is,
his name,
but-
Dennis?
What?
Dennis, yeah.
The kid with the mohawk
I
on his
think
head.
so.
Oh,
Seems awfully
when he
plain.
died, I was like, thank God.
Really?
Fuck you. Yeah,
well,
get out
no,
of
they
here.
need him.
That's so funny
No.
because,
I
like,
mean, they
in Ninja
didn't,
Turtle
but-
terms, you guys are totally backwards.
He was such a dick to that girl. Like, at least Pest with the hurt leg or whatever was like, oh man, please hurt me. Or please help me, blah,
He
blah,
was
blah, blah.
trying to get with her the whole time, though.
And true.
It's
But
true.
Dennis was like, we don't need her, blah, blah, get her out of here. And I'm like, I hope you die. And
Okay,
he did.
wait. So if that's the one you hate, who's everybody's favorite of the group?
I don't want to say. I feel like it's borderline racist because I love Pest. The one white kid in the group is my favorite. and
Justin.
Moses is my favorite for sure.
Okay, all right, we're split. Chris. Don't care. I'll go first. Just kidding.
Well, there was only 3 survivors.
But you could pick anyone.
Right.
Five
Obviously,
total, right?
Yeah.
I think Moses, and because if we're going Ninja Turtle terms, Pest is definitely Mikey. And Mikey, I don't know. I always put down at the bottom of my.
Man, you guys are getting
I
like
didn't
analytical
hate
now.
Pest. I didn't hate Pest. Once he started to hit on the girl after he got hurt, he turned cool and shit. You start to like him. But Moses is my.
See, I love his trick that he played on his mom or grandma or whoever he lives with the bat.
Yeah, very clever.
And then I just thought he was funny.
Boyega is
He's
just
definitely like loyal.
Yeah.
Like they are all just
They're-
dripping
they're
in
loyal to the
loyalty.
cause.
Like it's going nowhere.
Yeah, like everyone's like, let's just get out of here and run. They're like, nuh-uh, this is our block. We're gonna handle this.
Yeah.
They break out the pocket rocket and the bikes with pegs like they're middle schoolers. Who was
Scooter
your
with the
favorite?
learner's permit. And why was it hi-hats?
Out of probably Pest.
Yeah, I thought
I did
think
like
so,
Moses, but I also liked Dennis. If that's his name?
I liked Dennis too. When he died, I was like, no.
Because didn't he have the bike helmet on? The thing bit right through it or
You
something.
said you liked when Dennis died.
No. Oh, I thought you said.
Jerome.
Yeah, that's what I
Jerome.
thought. Yeah,
No,
Dennis.
Jerome
he
was
can-
fine.
Dennis can die. You're fine. I don't care.
Come on.
Should have
Give me a
been
break.
So
safe.
you like Dennis?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. I don't know if he's my favorite, but
Yeah.
I certainly don't hate him with a fire-infused passion.
I like the chick they robbed.
Yeah, she was a pretty cool chick. She definitely had a level head the whole time for like them having robbed her, but it was hilarious that they couldn't see it because they're so used to that dynamic of just robbing people.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
she was
man,
like,
I didn't
I
think
think I'm
of
gonna move, and Pest is like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
You guys just robbed me like an hour ago.
And she's one of them was like, "Oh, we didn't know that you lived on the block," and she was like, "Oh, that has stopped you from robbing me."
Well, because the block is like the whole world to them,
Yeah, for sure.
That's their block.
Yeah.
It might be a shitty block, but it's their block.
She must
you know?
have seen them around or something at least, because as soon as she saw them in the beginning, she was like, ah, shit.
Well,
Well, they're standing there with
it
hoods.
was
and
dark, and
middle
she
of the
lives in the
night.
ghetto, and
Sure, right.
We're stereotyping here. Everyone with hoods standing in the street in the middle of the night with a gang. Must
Hey, look,
just
we
be-
only
Like,
feel the
everybody
way the
has to
movie
go to the
wants
first
us
floor
to
to
feel.
get out of
Yeah.
your block. Like, you'd think you'd see the people who live higher up, and they do. Like, a couple
True.
of times.
True.
So. I
And
lived
they-
on the first floor of my apartment, and I had to see everybody walk by. Didn't like
Would you
it.
just sit there with your eye up to the eye hole?
No, but you have like your blinds and your window outside, and you
Oh,
see
yeah.
every shadow that walks by because you think they're coming to your door.
Especially if they got to pass your apartment
Now
to get
they-
to the stairs.
Yeah, no, we had motel style apartments. Theirs is, I guess, hotel style, right? It's all indoor stuff,
Indoor,
but I don't know. I don't think she'd have seen them or something, or found another alternative route there in the beginning. Because I think I would have. I'd have dipped that way, seen it, and been like, you know what? I think I did forget something over here.
You're like, you coming down here? You're like, nope, no, I didn't turn that way. I was.
We can't
checking-
rob you. Oh, okay, bummer. I'll send the next guy your way. You know. Yeah, I'd have figured out a way around that for sure. I think. But
Yeah.
then maybe I would have died in the alien attack. I don't know.
That's true.
Wouldn't have had the protection.
Was the car the alien crashed into? Was it the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended up
okay.
being the.
The
Because
kid's
showed him walking
dad's
down the
car.
street. Yeah, that's right.
Like I think he even said something on the phone.
That's
to
when
his
he,
parents,
like-
don't worry, it'll be in the driveway when you wake up in the morning or whatever. Saying that he'd get the car back, and then obviously,
I don't know about your guys' dads, but if his dad is anything like our dad, that would have been the scariest part of my night. Would be to tell him
Yeah.
about his car.
Anything alien would have came second. I don't care if I'd have got an arm bit off by the werewolf alien
Yeah,
monsters.
he wouldn't have cared.
My dad would have been like, "What do you mean, my car?" And go like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, just do anything worse than those aliens ever could. So
I'm immediately not holding any responsibility as soon as aliens touch down and make themselves known. I'm just like, look, man, it was aliens. I'll talk to you about it later.
yeah, we're gonna talk about these aliens.
We'll have a chat.
Justin. I liked that the aliens weren't the only issue they were having a problem with. Continuously running into hi-hats
And the cops.
and the cops.
Hi
yeah,
hat.
it's hi-hats.
I think it's hi hats.
Oh, it is plural.
I don't know.
It's like gang.
That's what it said in the credits. It had like a Z at the end. You know, it's got to have some rapper twang on it.
Okay.
Anyways, that guy and the police both, and the aliens, they're having to dip and dodge all three of these.
Trying to juggle the scenarios. I did
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
And it was like, I want to say low budget, but I don't mean like amateur hour. A lower budget.
They made it look bigger budget than
Yes.
than it was, which
And
I
the-
guess is the goal.
The effects were good.
The lighting, get out of here with the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like even when they had the crank timer lighting in the hallways, so they turn it on and they have so long to get to their door, and then the lights turn off, so it conserves energy in the apartments. And like there was one scene where someone turns on the lights and then like it even like made the emotion of like the whole scene change as the lights behind him started to go out.
Right.
They did that more than a couple times.
Yeah, they did that a couple times, and like even there was this one shot that they was like an overhead shot, and like the whole shot was quadranted out, and it was like 2 blue squares and 2 red squares of light on this overhead shot when they were.
I remember that one.
Yeah, and it was just beautiful lighting, beautiful cinematography, good acting in my opinion, great story, flowed really well,
Good horror elements.
good horror, good sci-fi, good mixture.
Is there anything you didn't like, Justin?
Um,
I don't know that I really have too many complaints other
yeah,
than Dennis
probably not.
dying.
I was way too busy enjoying it. You know what I mean?
It just had me hooked. Like, I wanted to see more.
Yeah, the only issue I had was, like I said, I had trouble really understanding the first 5 minutes of them talking because it picks up in the story immediately. You know, like girls walking down the street, runs into the guys. Oh shit! Alien crashes and the story starts. You know.
Yeah, it was
But
good.
then, like,
That was a
all
good
of it's happening,
transition.
and I couldn't understand their accents. So after that, I was like, okay, this is pretty
I
awesome.
think the like filter in my head, like you know how light when you adjust it and it like dims or bright. That's kind of like what my language filter did
Just
in
had
my
to
head.
like tune
I had to-
it in.
Yeah, I had to like
Like,
tune
get it in
it to
sync.
tune it to like British style, and it was like yeah, okay, there it is. Yep, I
You had to
understand.
put your British filter on, then you had to put your ghetto filter on.
That's
and,
right.
like,
Yeah, I had to merge them and
kind of get them in the right alignment, and
So like I said, I didn't know they had ghettos, so I had to create a ghetto filter, like hand rig one, and
Create
put it
one.
over my professional British one, and like
Well,
amalgamate
and
them.
luckily they kept reminding you throughout the movie. They were like, "Get me,
this
You
is
know,
my block.
allow
Get
it.
me. Allow it.
allow it."
I was
Leave.
like, that was like final when he said things like that, and they were like, "We're gonna do this, this, this." And he's like, "Allow it." They
Just trying to get
really
away.
did.
Allow it. Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
start adapting that over here, unless our
Yeah, it's weird how it's
We're
like
doing
so
that.
much slang, and like it seems like we have an aversion to slang here in America, but like I think it almost makes your language more interesting.
it definitely did for them.
Like you could tell they have like little quirks and like in it and like
Yeah, I get. Yeah, they must all be used to it or something because
Yeah.
nobody questions the way they talk. If
No.
like if that was going on and we talked like that, our adults would be like, "What are you? What is that?
Yeah.
What are you saying? Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop that right now! Turn it
but
off!"
like even the adults have somewhat of an accent, you know.
yeah,
True.
Oh, I just meant like the slang.
Yeah.
Like none of them.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean when you say that? They're all just like, yeah, that's like the norm, or they all get it.
It seems like a lot of British sentences end in questions.
Here you say fam, and people are like, "What does that mean?" Well, it means family because it's
Believe.
half of family. You
Trust.
We got to start yes-anding each other more. That's what it is.
know? I guess, yeah, you're right. Maybe we got it. Maybe this is it. Sinners, put that kind of talk on.
You guys want to throw a rating on it?
yeah, out of 10,
Yeah.
I'd probably give it like an 8.5. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give it an 8.5. I think. Yeah, that's solid.
I'm gonna go 9.5 because I just love everything about it. I think they did phenomenally with everything in there.
I'm gonna go 10. I loved it.
You know, I am gonna give it a
Wow.
9. I'm gonna up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Raising
yeah.
the bar a little bit, huh? It's
It was
one of
u-
my favorite.
Yeah, it was just
movies. That's all I
like
can
it was
say.
unique for being like an alien film. It was unique, you know.
It was
no,
aliens in a way that I personally never seen.
I wish we had watched it for our Alien Invasion one now.
I brought it up a little bit, and it seemed like it almost didn't fit because it was too.
We were doing like global domination aliens.
This is more like
Yeah, this is a block, love. Okay, trust.
we don't know if it was happening
Believe.
anywhere else. Like we didn't get that perspective.
The scene where they're seeing the aliens like just crash land like all over them, you know, and they're like, oh, there's one not far in the park.
Let's go get him. Tool up, bro.
And then like the main chick wasn't just like a nuisance that gets. She wasn't there just to be the medic that has to go with them for protection. She attacks some of
Couple
them,
of them,
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Moses,
she gets in
when
on the
Moses
action.
gets his sword stuck in the wall, she comes up and like uppercuts it with a knife.
That's right. Yeah, so she gets in on the action. A lot
A
of
literal uppercut.
And
lot
she
of
sets up the end scene whenever they gas the place up.
that's true. Yeah, she sets it up.
Ooh,
for
yeah,
Moses
she has to,
go in
like-
there.
So let's explain that scene because that's one of my favorite scenes in film history. Like, so they find out that the aliens can only smell you if you've touched
Right.
the other alien. So I think their
The
senses
pheromones
they
were-
don't. I don't think they can see. I think their senses are based on a lot of like smell.
Yeah.
It's almost
some
like
kind
very
of
graboidy sort of.
Yeah.
very
you know?
heightened sense of
So
shit or thermals or something.
so like all the aliens have them trapped in one room, and the nurse goes out, and since she doesn't have any of the pheromones on her, they can't smell her, so she's walking right by him. Goes to Moses' apartment, turns on all the gas, contains the gas in that one spot. So when Moses does this amazing slow motion montage, running, jumping over chairs, the aliens are chasing them, and they're running like gorillas, and like you could feel the tension. He busts into the room, and he's wearing the female alien on his back the whole time. So like the aliens are chasing, trying to get the female, and he gets in the room and he throws the bag down, and he starts trying to light the bottle rocket that he's got to set off the gas, and it won't light, and he finally gets it, and it blows up, and
Blows him out the window, blows him out, and he's just barely hanging on by a flag.
Yeah, it's,
Just barely. The UK flag.
yeah,
God save the
Man,
Queen.
yeah, God save the Queen.
It was a very well put together movie.
yes.
Very good. I liked it a lot, man. Like I said, it was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. Not that I didn't not want to see it, but upon seeing it, I was like, okay, this is way better than...
It gave me an excuse to watch it. I was excited. I liked it.
Yeah.
Good deal.
What'd you guys think going back to Constantine after so long?
I was not super looking forward to it. Like everyone that I had heard just talked down about it. So I was really expecting like this awful sort of flick, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah,
Constantine's great.
yeah. I mean, I guess it had flaws. Everything does or whatever. But nothing bothered me so much that I am just really like down and pouty about it. Like everyone is to me. So I really enjoyed it. I don't know how comic book faithful it is aside from some names.
Never read the comic.
Me neither. Other than that, I just know he's a hardcore chain smoking, supernatural. Exorcist guy.
Yeah, Exorcist.
But it was awesome. No, I really enjoyed it, Chris. I think you missed out on this one, dude.
I know,
definitely.
man. I actually was looking really forward to watching this. And I ended up coming over last night, and we were discussing the future Cinaman and talking shop. And I was unable to watch this film, but I have never once thought, oh, man, that looks awful. I don't want to watch that. I was looking for an excuse to watch this, and I couldn't do it. But I definitely have that on my list to watch.
The more I see Keanu Reeves, the more I love him.
I really enjoy Keanu Reeves. I don't know why. He's another one that like just really gets.
From what I hear, he's like
bashed.
a really great guy in real life. Like gives like portions of his money to, other people that work on the film besides the actors. Which I don't know how true that is. That's just what I've heard. Just heard he's real humble, real down to earth. Like I like a lot of the movies he's in. Like I don't like sports movies, but I kind of like that hardball that he's in.
Oh, yeah.
Purple's good. The Replacements is good. He's a
Replacements is
football-
good,
yeah.
and Matrix I haven't seen all of. I know, don't kill me, don't hurt me.
Hey,
A Scanner Darkly.
Scanner Darkly I like a lot.
Lake House.
It's a great one.
I've seen.
I'm kidding.
The first
I'm
two
not.
Matrixes. I've seen the third one. It's been a long time. Don't care. But the first two were good.
John Wick.
John Wick was awesome.
John Wick was
Dude,
great.
John Wick 2 is going to be so good.
Such a surprise for John Wick 1. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I think they even thought, like, it's going to be a cool action movie. No
And it
big
turned
deal.
out to be awesome.
And it made a bunch of money. And it made a bunch of money on DVD sales. And people just generally responded well to it. Which was good because I was worried he was hitting some of those years where he just wasn't putting out anything good, kind of like Will Smith.
Yeah.
47 Ronin looked cool. Now I have not.
I haven't watched
seen
it. I thought it looked cool too.
Yeah.
I
I've
heard it
heard-
got a lot of bad reviews.
I've heard the story is not good, but it's like the effects are awesome.
Yeah.
It's like like ancient samurai stuff. Like there's some demons.
some supernatural stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even some of his other work, if we take it back, dial it way back to Speed or Point Break.
Point Break was good.
Good break.
I think Point Break was, Point Break. It is what it is.
It's an icon. It's a
It's a cult movie almost.
Yeah.
Like you gotta love it because it's like '80s, and you got Patrick Swayze who's alive and with
Raking
long
my
hair.
ass.
Who's
he's
alive?
firing his
robbing a
gun up
bank.
in the air and going
Yeah, and
Just
then,
roadhousing all over.
yeah, yeah, and then you got Speed, which was it made like $400 or $500 million, and just really put Keanu on the map. But I even love Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bill and Ted.
Those
Like-
movies are excellent.
yeah.
Man, I was thinking of another one that I really liked.
And Keanu Reeves was stuck in that persona
Did.
for a long time.
Now he's more like seems depressed.
He
Well, he's
seems
just so
real.
serious.
I guess he's had some things go on in his
Yeah, I
personal
guess he-
life,
yeah.
like losing some people and some things. But yeah, he does. He's real like somber and just kind of like,
But he
quiet spoken,
like
soft spoken and stuff.
soft spoken guy, you know, but like, you know, it's like, yeah, you have like a world wariness to you, you know.
His
he doesn't
wariness
want to do it, but he has to do it.
Both of those things I think made him awesome for John Constantine. Like he had a real like does not give a shit about about things kind of attitude going in, and
The whole thing is just he saw hell and he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Like he already went there.
That was
like the whole premise is like he's like, I don't want to fucking do this, but I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah, so he committed suicide when he was 13, and so he
Did
was
it say how?
I don't know, I don't think it's it.
Oh, okay.
So he dies and then gets brought back to life, or somehow like
was he resuscitated or?
that's kind of what I was foggy on.
I don't-
Sounds like he was resuscitated, so he's come back to life, but he's seen hell, so he sees.
So he flatlined for at least a little bit.
You're right,
and then brought
dead.
back. Okay.
And I think he says how long he was dead. I think it was like 4 minutes or something. And he's able to like see things now that he's seen hell. So he can like see demons and stuff, but they can see him too. So he sort of like embraces this ability or something, and
Does he like go around saving people from these demons like some kind of hero?
so like
Or is
suicide.
this like his one? This movie is like about his like the one time he did this.
Yeah, so
He's
like
been doing it.
suicide is like you cannot go to heaven. So he's exercising demons as like his ticket, like, yeah, I did wrong there, but like look what I'm doing now.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Throw me a bone here. And so Rachel Wise is a twin in the movie. Her twin has committed suicide. And Rachel Wise
She's so hot.
and her twin had
Yeah, in her own way, for sure.
Yeah, it's the English accent, dude. Another English accent. There it is.
Trust,
Drop the ball.
bruv. Trust.
She's pretty fit.
Allow it.
Believe.
she's getting the Mummy movies. So
She's awesome.
Yeah, except for the
Oh,
third
that's
one,
what
she looks all different and
and her acting is just not there.
And they spell her name Marissa Tomei. I don't
Yeah.
get it.
That's so
Or Mary
weird.
Bello, I'm sorry.
I was like Marissa Tomei.
yeah, I was like,
Mary Bello.
been interesting.
Sorry, sinners. You'll have to punch me when you see me.
and Imhotep is Asian.
So yeah, so
Oh, wait.
Constantine is just how you imagine. He is smoking cigarettes like
Nonstop.
24. Like when he finishes one, another one's getting ready to come out. Like
And they did a lot of good like shots that were like just the cigarette.
yeah,
Or just him coughing up blood.
Yeah, and
and oh yeah, so he's kind of like the countdown is on. He's dying. He's got lung cancer. So he's like
sad way to go out.
exercising to make sure he gets his ticket to heaven. And it turns out Gabriel, who is played by Tilda Swinton, and I'm not really sure why it's a female. I guess it
Okay.
really doesn't matter.
but it was. I think she did a really good
She
job.
did a good job, and she's played it. I'm pretty sure she played Bob Dylan in that. Wasn't she one of the versions of Bob Dylan in that movie?
Was it Tilda Swinton or
Well, I know Kate Blanchett did it, but I didn't know if Tilda Swinton.
maybe
Point
Hilary
being,
Swank or something?
she pulls
I don't
off.
know.
If she's trying to be dude, I don't think she is.
Well,
So
I
is it
think
fine?
it's a thing like Gabriel's neither masculine nor feminine in the stories.
Oh,
So,
well, maybe that makes more sense. I'm not big on the Bible and stuff, so that's not evident.
and then the symbols on Constantine's arms are for summoning Gabriel. So when he brings his arms together, he's summoning
That was
Gabriel.
awesome. That was cool.
Really cool.
He said something like like
Hadouken!
he does like a Ryu, like Hadouken punch, and he like summons Gabriel after Rachel Wise's something. I don't know. Something happens. Constantine is like pissed, so he like rolls up the sleeves, like cigarettes out, like our friend when we threw his cat, and he like he rolls up his sleeves and he just like summons. He's got like half on one arm, half on the other, so he puts his forearms together and he just like commands the shit out of this spell and summons Gabriel.
Is there a lot of like spell, magic-y kind of like? Doesn't
Yeah,
he
for
dabble?
sure.
Okay,
They ended
cool.
up doing like they do like water is
Incantations
the
and shit?
yeah, they're like water is the balance between the worlds or whatever. So like anytime they go into hell or they go in to see the future or things that have happened around them, they're sticking their feet in water or holding, there's one in the park where Keanu Reeves is holding the female lead underwater so she can get back into her abilities of being able to see the dark side,
Because she had to kill her? Did he have to kill her and just like bring her back?
I don't know. I can't tell if it was a thing where he just brought her near death or
I love
whatever.
that the second you can tell, she knows she's gonna be under there for a
I
while.
kind of it freaked me out, man. I was like, wait, what's he doing? You know.
So he
like-
holds her under, and you can tell she's like, okay, something crazy is gonna happen, and so she's sitting underwater, and Keanu's holding her down, and she looks up and she sees him, and he's got this blank look on his face, just holding her down, and some time passes, and
She like holding her breath underwater.
yeah,
Okay.
she's like, okay, nothing's happening, and I can't, and starts thrashing, trying to get up, and he's just holding her down.
It was intense.
I wonder how they filmed it. I'm really curious because I
Well-
couldn't imagine having to film that scene, and if she was like, they really did takes where she was underwater for a fucking while. You
Well,
know?
no, you just put her under a while, shoot, let her up, put her back down, shoot some more, let her
Oh
back
man,
up, put her down, shoot
I'd be
some
terrified.
I
Don't.
I'm fairly
could do
certain
that.
when you do some kind of like water.
It's like tap my
stunt
arm
like
twice if you really need to get up. You know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, she's got to be thrashing. There's no casual taps.
If she wanted to, I'm sure they could probably throw some like money.
I think
Like-
outside the frame, there's probably like
Yeah,
three lifeguards and
yeah, like ready to just
paramedics
like
and
grab her back up.
Man, I wouldn't. Yeah.
I think you probably need some like special permits or something.
I'm not real good with drowning, so. You know.
Shia LaBeouf was in the movie.
Yeah, was this one of his
That was
first
awesome.
movies, or?
This was
No,
back when he
holes.
was just like
Oh, yeah.
Like-
No,
popping
even
up-
Steven's movie might have been his
like
first
he was
movie.
like
Yeah.
popping up in small roles in movies. I, Robot.
I was gonna say,
This,
iRobot was like
uh,
04, 05 or something. So this was
like
right
that.
around that time.
Charlie's Angels 2. You know, he just showed up in these blockbusters. You know,
This,
these
yeah, this
movies.
was still when he was being like the funny support character.
This was before
right
the first
before he took
Transformers.
his leading man.
Yeah,
jump.
before Disturbia, before Transformers.
I take
After
that back.
Holes.
He did Holes and
Yeah.
he did Even Stevens, but he went on that like supporting character.
Who was
Run.
Who was he in this movie? Was he?
He was just an
Very
apprentice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Apprentice. Oh, he was. He did get to be kind of a badass like at the end.
Yeah, when he threw the cross in the sprinkler system.
He really knows his stuff.
Yeah,
He even like picks up
Yeah, he likes
explaining
things.
something to somebody. Like
yeah.
it kind of goes
Yeah,
dead.
he's
and
well
he just
versed.
jumps into.
Because you can kind of tell he hasn't got to get in the shit very much, but he's done his studies and he's like ready to.
But he
doing
acts as
it.
Constantine's like cab driver or whatever, like
Escort.
chauffeur sort of.
Right. Okay.
But not that kind of escort.
Yeah, and,
Well, we don't know.
Not the professional.
You never know. I mean,
didn't get the
when
full
you get
story,
into the
maybe.
church,
that's true. We didn't.
Did you ever see him pay him? Because maybe something goes on behind scenes. No.
I don't think
Yeah,
they
who-
pay him.
It's-
He's a intern.
it's over their head.
Papa Midnight was a great character too. What did you think of his little bar where it was like heaven and hell?
Yeah,
and everybody's got to be neutral there.
Digimon Hansananahan or whatever is that guy's name I can
Was
never
it
pronounce.
Digimon Hunsun.
Yeah, something Digimon. Yeah, something like that.
And Guardians of the Galaxy. That's
Yeah,
like one famous line.
Yeah,
The Never Back Down
The
guy.
Blood Diamond guy. The guy who
That's
should have been Black Panther like 10 years ago.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he should have been Black Panther.
but yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a super slick, almost like I don't want to say pimp, but just club owner wearing like a red suede suit,
Like,
He
looking
could
like a
play a
fresh
pimp.
fedora on.
Fresh
He
to
did
death
a
cat.
He
Okay.
gave off like a not a pimp vibe, but it definitely like I run things around here, know that,
Boss
and even
vibe.
like the way he
Boss.
was like smoking was just like, look at me, like he. Constantine goes in for advice. Turns out he's got some like supernatural knowledge or ties or something.
Yeah.
He's taken a neutral side in the like
Yes.
angels
Good and
versus
evil.
demons thing,
Right.
and Constantine was kind of.
Constantine's like, "Come on, help me, man," and he's like, "I have to be neutral.
Yeah, and he's like, "You're the only one left." He had some cool way of wording it. He was like,
You're the only one left
not
following the rules."
Yeah, you're the only one playing by the rules right now." And I was like, "Man, yeah, that's kind of
Uh-huh.
yeah. You're the only one who hasn't chosen a side." And then he ends up helping out Constantine and Earth.
So is there like a overall bad guy, or like there's a bunch of demons that are a bad guy? Like, do the demons look cool? Are they like special?
You
effects? Are
guys
they
can
even
probably
demons?
explain it better than I can. It'd be real.
So the overall bad guys are the demons who casually come into Earth and like inhabit spirits or other things.
Okay.
The main bad guy that we never really get to see is Damien, the devil's son. And he goes into this Mexican dude's body who finds the Spear of Destiny in Mexico, and then he travels all the way to wherever the fuck Constantine's at to get into Isabella, or is that, what's the other?
Yeah, I think it's Isabel, which
Okay,
is
so
Rachel
he-
Weisz's
Rachel
twin.
Weisz.
He gets
Her
in.
twin.
He eventually
Oh,
ends up
it is
getting into her,
Yes.
and like they're waiting for him to be born, and then boom, surprise! Gabriel is on the side of Damien.
She has had it with God.
Oh, with humans,
for
with
giving
humans.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because the humans get special treatment and blah blah blah.
So Gabriel is bad.
Yeah, she explains that like we rape, we murder, we do all these things, and then all we have to do is say sorry, basically, and repent, and what do you know, pearly gates.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's like, you're going to have to deal with demons on Earth, and then once you deal with all that, then you're worthy of heaven. But until then,
he had this like real cool scene where like things start like going dark on the street, and it's Constantine and Rachel, and there's like one like shop left with like a Jesus light or something in it, and they kind of make their way there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's kind of like a
That was awesome.
Dementor Patronus thing. Like he
all made out of bugs.
does some lights or something. He does something, some cool effect, and it like lights up and it burns like there's probably like 100 demons like flying around.
Yeah.
It was nuts, but it was real dark. Couldn't see him, you could just hear him, and it was real scary. And then it lights up the whole scene like Harry Potter 3.
That was a different one. Okay, they do flash the demons for a second on that one.
Yeah,
But I was
doesn't
thinking
he
of a
burn them
totally
all?
different
I think
scene.
He
Yeah,
kills them all there in that scene.
It's some kind of incantation he does with the cloth and the
It was
fire.
pretty awesome. Pretty
Would
bad.
you call this like a supposed to be scary movie or just like an action movie with some scary stuff?
Thriller, I guess.
Yeah, I
Sci-fi
guess so.
thriller. There's
Because it's got
it's
real
hard to
good
say
elements in it.
no, it's not a scary movie, and then talk about demons
It's
and
like a
stuff.
supernatural.
It's got some cool imagery in it. Like
There's
cool,
no
It's
like
definitely got cool.
there's
imagery.
no like jump scares or like it's not like a horror movie.
right.
I wouldn't if I worked at a movie store and I was filing it. I wouldn't put it in the horror
I
section.
wouldn't either.
I'd put it in the
Suspense
It
thriller.
is a DC movie, right? Constantine.
It is
Yes.
DC Vertigo, I believe, is the
Probably
And
the best
I-
DC movie out.
Hey, we all know it's true.
Tyler. I'm not even going to comment on that.
bridge. Tyler.
I don't have to see this movie to know that is probably not true.
Well, yeah, but you're talking out of your ass, so you're not. Your
You haven't seen it.
opinion
though.
isn't valid.
So
Look, but
anyway,
I've
people who
seen-
have seen it,
I have seen Watchmen, and I have seen
I've seen Watchmen as
The
well.
Dark Knight. I've
I
seen
have
The
seen
Dark
The
Knight
Dark Knight.
Rises. I've seen all those, and
Ooh,
I
Dark
don't
Knight.
think
Ooh, Dark Knight's pretty good.
I
didn't
don't
think about
think
Dark
this is
Knight.
going to top those. I am fairly. Who's the director of this?
Yeah, you come at me with Nolan though, and
This
it's hard for me.
The director of this is Francis Lawrence, who
Did the first Hunger Games?
no, the
Yes.
last, all but the first. He did second, third, and fourth / 3 part 2. He did those, and he did.
Do I wrote. No, that was. I thought he did like a Will Smith, one of those Will
He
Smith.
did. I
movies.
Am Legend. Yeah.
I Am Legend.
Oh, what
and
a
it is
stinker.
super thematic too with the way that they shoot it. They do a lot of like
I Am Legend was
overhead
awesome with the
shots,
ending.
Right.
and they force a lot of color on you. Here's a bunch of red. Here's a bunch of blue.
Okay. I
It's all
will
black
agree
here.
with you. This is probably a very good movie. It sounds awesome, but I will not
Constantine had a lot of good
probably
color
say
use.
this is not one of the best DC films. Huh?
Constantine had. You mentioned color. Constantine had a lot of good color use, like all the like hell colors, and then like you're back on like the Earth plane and all that stuff. It was really
Visually impressive.
good. Like I said, I'm not real into like any of the Bible Old Testament stuff, so some of like following kind of the plot, I was like, what? But it doesn't throw.
I
a
like
whole,
seeing
it
it
doesn't
in
throw
like
a
a
whole lot
dark
at you.
setting like that. Like if you've ever watched Supernatural does it really well, where it's not like super religious-y in your face, but it's still like demons are cool. Demons are a cool bad guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like it, I like
They're an
stuff like
effective
that.
bad
I
guy.
like dark religious stuff
Well, I know
and funny religious stuff.
Constantine had
Just not
one
religious
season
stuff.
on a network.
Yeah.
I don't
Had
know,
a TV
TBS or something. Yeah, it had one TV show, one season.
Never seen it.
Oh
with-
yeah.
The actor looked apparently pretty good, and
Matt
apparently it had a very specific audience. It got taken off after one season, but the character appeared on Arrow, and I guess there's maybe talk of him coming up for more. And later, they say
I
that's
think so.
definitely an option. There's definitely a move to try and bring it back. I don't know whether or not that's going to go forward. It seems like this is one that's having a hard time resonating with audiences. I don't know why. I have not seen the movie.
Well, I don't know. Part of it, I think, maybe that Constantine, the character in the comics, is one blonde. Not that plays a big deal, but it is
I
one
think
of
the
those they
facial
broke.
features are just on par though. Like when you
I
look
agree
at
with you there.
just the face itself,
He's
it's
also
like,
got an
oh,
accent in the
parallel.
comics. I think he's
British.
is he? I thought he was like Welsh or Irish or something kind of like that.
It could be. I don't get
Somewhere
into the
up,
technicalities
like,
of the British
in
accents.
that like Britannia sort of like area.
Yeah.
right.
But I think characteristically those are the two biggest things. Other than that, yeah, super chain smoker. The outfit was awesome.
Does he wear the trench coat with like the?
He wears a black one in this one, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the traditional like tan, you know.
Right.
But Matt Ryan does as Constantine in the show, and
Right.
he has the accent. But I don't know. I still think seeing the two, I've seen him in the Arrow episode, and I still think Keanu put on a better performance, even though the guy maybe have had more correct about his.
So it wasn't as close to the source material, but the performance is better.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
And-
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not, this is a character to me where that would be okay. Like I'm fine with Keanu
I'm okay
playing
with
this
it
guy.
anywhere.
I don't
If it's
care
a good
that
movie,
he.
it's a good movie.
True.
It's not like a look that like if you break like having a black Human Torch or whatever, or a black Mary Jane Watson now that the internet's breaking again. So it wasn't one of those that
Yeah.
like breaking that look wasn't gonna like send the world nuts or cause problems.
No.
That's awesome. And
And
the
I
ending,
liked it.
The ending was good. It wasn't like anticlimactic. It was. What you sat through to get through it was worth it.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. I was trying to figure out how he would stay on Earth, and because he's all like,
Yeah,
"I'm ready to
especially-
go," and I'm dying, and then
Yeah.
the devil, who's like, "Nope, curing that cancer, you're staying right here. You are not
Yeah.
dying."
Well,
And
it's
I
so
was like,
funny how
"Oh."
it happens. How he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna try to pray to God, and that doesn't work. So then he's like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna kill myself. He kills himself. Satan shows up, and he's like, oh, thank God you're here. What a relief! I came to get you myself.
Yeah,
and
he's
that
like-
dude was
he's like-
cast flawlessly, by the way, from the oil dripping on his feet, his white suit, his face, the way that he talks.
It's like the snivelly Russian guy. He always plays a Russian. I'll have to Google him for you.
He always plays a Russian. Okay.
You'll see him and you'll be like, "Oh yeah, he always plays a Russian." Smart ass.
So they show a little vision of heaven because Lucifer is dragging Keanu Reeves out to take him to hell, and all of a sudden he becomes heavier than the weight of the floor, and Constantine starts pulling up the floor with his body
Good
because he's
effect.
so heavy,
It was a really good effect.
and he's ascending into heaven, and you see it's like this almost Mario style land, and
Right.
so. Constantine's like flipping him off and like, "Ha, I got you, bitch." And Lucifer's like, "No!" So he reaches up and like sticks his hand into Constantine's lungs and pulls the cancer out, and he's just got the tar all over his hands. And he's like, "You will live. You will live."
The one in the middle is him from the movie, but yeah, that's him.
Oh, the guy that plays the Russian.
Yeah, I definitely know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, he's in Prison Break. If you've ever seen that,
The show?
yeah,
Didn't know that.
it's a good show.
No, real life Prison Break.
Yeah, so that's how that concludes, and then Satan goes and takes Damien back because Satan is still playing, or Lucifer is still playing fair, quote unquote. He doesn't want to offset the rules of the game, so he takes his son back to hell, takes all his little demon minions with him, and Gabriel gets her wings blasted off because God's like, well, we can't have you on our team anymore. And so Gabriel's
Seen your true colors. Clip,
yeah.
clip. Goes all angel from the X-Men and gets it burnt off. And he's like,
This was hardcore looking. There wasn't the blood, but they were barbecue, more so than Angel and X-Men Apocalypse too was. They were gone, broken, bone, left. It was hardcore.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And then she's like, "Oh, Constantine, you want to exact revenge on me?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And she gives him the gun, and he fucking mollywops her in the face with it. And he's like, "Oh, what's that?" He's like, "That's pain. Get used to it."
That was
Hey.
hardcore. That punch looked like it hurt, or
Yeah.
whatever he did. Yeah, it looked like it hurt. It may have happened on set. The expression was
That's so funny though. She was going for the
was
easy out,
nuts.
and he was like, "Nope, you're gonna live, and you're just gonna
punched
suffer."
her and probably broke a tooth or whatever. But yeah, he dropped a. That's what pain feels like. Welcome to it.
Give her a good old
nice,
haymaker.
dude. It sounds like a really good movie. I'm actually really mad that I didn't get to watch this. Just demons and stuff in general. You ever see the movie Legion with Paul Bettany and?
I didn't like it.
It's way better than Legion.
Yeah, I'm saying
There's actually
that theme and aspect of it made me drawn to that movie just like
Show
I'm drawn
coming
to this
based
one.
off that movie.
Well, there's actually a Legion reference in John Dies at the End. Not to the movie Legion, but the biblical reference.
I got you. The events
Uh,
of Legion.
There's something like his name is Legion for we are many. You know what I'm talking about? Well, there's a guy in John Dies at the End named Shitload, and he says his name is
Why do they
Shitload
call him that?
because there's a shitload of us in here, yo. And
Does this movie, spit any sort of info for a sequel coming at you, or is it a very standalone movie?
which one?
Yeah, he lives. There could be a sequel, but I mean, is it Does it throw a little plot turn at you like Batman Begins, where it's like, oh, a Joker card?
I think there is an end of the credit scene, but I've not.
I don't know.
I did not watch it, and I found out after I watched it. I think it was on IMDb.
On Constantine?
I thought so. I thought
We
that's
didn't
what
watch
it
it
said.
either if there was one.
I don't think that... Was there there was an after credit scene?
I thought that's what IMDb said. I thought I'd read it somewhere because I did
I've
not
never known
see
that
it.
forever. I've only always seen it on TV until this viewing.
What I've seen ties it up in a nice little bow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems like.
for sure.
Not like we're setting it up for a sequel, but like he is alive, so if they wanted to do one, they could spin one.
Right.
He's quitting smoking. He's got the girl. You know.
Quitting smoking. Oh, Keanu, come on.
Can't go with that
Yeah, you're
cancer.
going to need it once you're more than Nebuchadnezzar.
I think if, the devil reaches inside you and pulls your cancer out, you stop smoking.
I think
Well,
the
that just means your lungs are healthy and you can just
Start
work
smoking
Smoke
all
twice
again.
as
Yeah.
much. Oh.
the line in the movie was that he
Wow.
needed to quit smoking, or that he had been smoking 30 cigarettes a day since he was 13. And I was
Holy
like,
crap.
that's a lot.
How much is in a pack?
20.
Like a pack and a half a day?
Yep.
What?
That's
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess if you're fighting demons all the time, that'll do it for you.
That's more than
Yeah.
1 an hour, man. He's like really.
That's your vacation.
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't stop.
He's like every 45
Even when he's doing
seconds.
his little exorcism, he doesn't put out the cigarette. He just
Yeah,
sets it
his
down.
first one he like sets it like filter end on the table so it can like burn. Like I'll be back in time to finish this, and then it ends up taking longer, and it's like burnt, and he's like, damn it, or kind of.
That's funny. This sounds really awesome. Out of 10, what would you... Starting with...
I'll go first. 8. I'm going to give it an 8.
But I'll give it a 7.
I'm going to go 9.
Nice.
I'm going to go 9.
Justin sounds like he's got the most convincing argument. Sorry, you guys.
That's fine.
Oh, hey,
That was a
Well,
great movie.
It's his
I've
birthday.
really been in and around the movie, so.
Been in and around the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
You missed a good one.
I know,
I'm
man.
Constantine constantly.
Oh, you're constantly Constantine. Nice.
All right.
Lead.
On to John dies at the end.
Does John die at the end?
Okay, John dies in the middle of the beginning. He comes back later. He kind of dies again, but you're not really sure. And he just...
No, to answer your
everybody
question,
kind
no.
of dies all the time throughout this whole series.
No, I don't think so. Well,
Everybody's died.
without spoiling the book.
Is there a sequel to
I'm going
this
to
book?
spoil the shit out
Yes,
of the book.
there's a. Oh, we're spoiling the book?
I'm going to spoil the book.
Okay, we'll spoil the book. Well, then, yeah, Dave. Man, but they haven't read the book.
Okay, we'll save it then.
I mean, we can
Make
talk
you
about
guys
the
read the
book,
book.
but I'm not going to,
Sinner spoilers on the movie.
Spoilers on the
not
movie and the book, but,
But not on the book as well.
Well, on
Not
the book,
all the way on the book.
Yeah.
We're not putting the gas all the way down.
I'm reserving the right to spoil whatever I want,
We're going downhill in neutral instead
but
of
I
with
want
our
you to
pedal
still
all
enjoy
way
the book if
forward.
you read it,
True.
because it is one of my favorite books, if not my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah, I've read a lot of good books.
It's...
I did read all the
How
Harry
many times
Potters.
have you read Jade 8 now, Justin?
I have it as an audiobook, and I've
Well,
listened
yeah.
to it probably 13 or 14 times through. It's
That's
just such a
insane.
great time passer,
really
and the
good.
way that it's written is so well. It's right in my wheelhouse of comedy. It's right in my wheelhouse of horror.
Sci-fi.
It hits just right on par with the sci-fi and the monsters and the description. Like in the book, so they talk about, it's basically the same principles as Constantine, which is why it ties together so well. They basically battle multi-dimensional beings that for some reason believe in religious symbols. It's either because we believe it works or because it's supposed to work, sort of deal. So, they go around with things like they have a baseball bat that's wrapped in the Bible. They have a jukebox that plays super awesome ballads.
Man,
What are
that
some of the
sounds
other
awesome.
weapons they use? They got a crossbow and,
A
flamethrower.
Well, they use a flamethrower paintball gun. Did they use that in the book?
No, it was that one in the book. It was a super soaker.
Okay, well, we should start out by saying the movie was good. I saw the movie first, and I loved it so much I wanted to read the book. After reading the book, the movie is not as good.
But see, here's the
okay.
thing: once you read the book, the movie makes sense because they have to take all that stuff and pack it all down. And the way that they take Jennifer Lopez out and put Amy in, and they just kind of smash all the dialogue and stuff that was supposed to be Jennifer
And that
Lopez.
makes me so angry.
Yeah,
because
for
I
sure,
hate
'cause
because I
Amy's
hate
a-
Jennifer Lopez in the book, and Amy's one of, if not my favorite character in the book. And they
Yeah,
like
so
they-
that's a real injustice. But the way that they did it, because they had to do it that way, I thought was really well.
yeah, I actually read an AMA by David Wong, who is the author, whose real name is Jason Pargins, and he's a Cracked writer. He's on the Cracked podcast. If you've ever listened to that, he's one of the hosts that circles in. He's not in every episode, but he's on a lot of them.
And he nails it when he's on there.
He's so good. He's
Man.
my favorite person on the podcast. My second favorite author. Sorry, David. Christopher Moore. What's up? But he's just so good. And I saw on the AMA him defending the movie, saying that we did what we could with the money that we had and the time constraints, budget, all this, and it's a hard book to make into a movie, I would think. Do you agree?
Especially with time constraints. I think if you didn't have the time press, like say that you could make it into like a series or something, I think that it would be a lot easier to get the story out. But when they went the movie route with it, and you just gotta smash it to get that story in there, because it's so big and broad, and it all ties together so well.
It's a pretty big book.
Should have been a Netflix series, is what it should have been.
Stranger Things directors, looking at you.
Oh my god! don't play with me.
I know you gave me the book to borrow, I don't know, 2 months ago probably, and I think I started to read it one time and then just kind of put it down.
Yeah, once you get into it, it's so good.
I gotcha.
So I hate when people ask me the story of John Dies at the End, because it's really hard to explain.
It's very all over the place.
So basically, I guess we should just explain the movie then. Dave goes to a party and meets this black fake Jamaican guy who does like a fake Jamaican accent, and he's doing all these like magic tricks at the party, right? And he's like telling Dave his dreams that he had last night, and and then it gets into like this really like serious shot where he's like, do you want me to tell you the day that you'll die, or when the first nuclear bomb will touch American soil, or in what city? And like real
heavy shit.
yeah.
He dips into to explain his powers in a way. He talks about how, let me tell you what happened in your dream last night, man.
Yeah.
And he tells David his dream, which is his girlfriend coming to, she's got a stack of dynamite and she's pushing the plunger, and he wakes up to a thunderclap. And he's like, you can wonder about the meaning of the dream, or you can ask yourself the big question, how did your brain know that the thunderclap was coming, man? And then he explains that the reason that happened is because time is an ocean, not a garden hose. So it's all free flowing. It's not coming out in a stream. And that sets the precedence for, the affect of going into multi-dimension and how time is set up. And
Yeah. And so talks to that guy, whatever. The party ends up getting over. He goes home, goes to sleep, and gets a call from John in the middle of the night. John was, if you saw the clip when we were playing the song for Camel Holocaust, he was the lead singer of the band. So he's one of the 3 main characters in the book, one of the 2 main characters in the movie. Amy, who gets condensed into... They take this one character, Jennifer Lopez...
Jennifer Lamey.
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez and Amy.
Jennifer Lopez in the book?
Yeah, but it's not
Only
J-Lo. It's not Jenny from the Block. It's just...
It's not Jenny.
It's the same name.
Jenny from Karate.
Same name. No relation.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah. And they combine those 2 into one character, and it really gets my goat. I'm really upset. Amy's such a great character.
That's so funny that you get so into her, man.
She's a great character.
She's definitely a great character.
Did you like
But
the
it's
character when you watched the movie without the book, though?
No, she was totally
Okay,
bland.
so you didn't like her until you read the book.
Well,
super bulky,
I didn't
extra
know,
sassy,
There was just nothing about her in the movie
Big
that
whiner.
called attention to her. She's
I know
missing a
girls like
hand,
that.
which comes into play in the movie and the book.
I don't know girls like that. That's where you lose me.
That's a new one.
So John calls him and tells him, Dave, you need to come over. I'm freaking out. There's something in my apartment. Get over here right now. And it's real early in the morning. So am I missing anything before he goes over to...
No, but he includes on his transfer over, or on his travel over, that John's overdosed before, and I don't think that gets included in the movie, but John's overdosed before, so David's like, well, at least he called me this time, and, we'll figure out what he's on and get him through this, and blah, blah, blah. And,
Yep.
So he just thinks it's going to be like another...
yeah, he thinks it's just
overdose
another
call.
bender.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're like such good friends. He like gets up in the middle of the night to go help.
It's not like a nuisance for him. He's
Well, it's a nuisance. He's got to work in the morning. At least he's got to work in the morning in the book.
right.
So
Yeah, they don't get into his work in the movie.
yeah. So he rushes over to John's house, and John's freaking out, claiming that, oh, look over there. You can't see it? And he's like running around, and, Dave's like, what the fuck? And you find out that he went with that fake Jamaican guy and did some drugs with him at a bar, and then came home and he's freaking out. And then
After that, they decide that they need to go to a common place, and they end up going to Denny's because everybody goes to Denny's.
Why not?
Denny's, yeah.
It's Denny's.
yeah,
So they're eating at Denny's, and John's like, man, I don't know, it was just crazy, man. It was like I was here and I was there and I was everywhere, man, and blah blah blah. David's phone starts ringing, and he picks it up, and it's John, and he's like, Dave, blah blah blah, it's me. And Dave's like, dude, you're sitting right here. And John's like, is that me on the phone, man? Oh
Yeah.
man, I think you're gonna be getting phone calls from me for a long time.
I think you're going to get phone calls from me for the next 10 years, all from tonight. And so, like, yeah, so when the phone rings, he answers it, and then you see, like, a shot of John's face, and he does this little, like half smile, and he's like, is that me? On the phone. So he's talking to John on the phone and looking at him in the face. And he's like, oh, well, I'm there with you? Well, just talk to me in person. So yeah, he explains all about the Jamaican, and the drug that they did is called the soy sauce. And John's, like, I'm starting to think that wasn't really soy sauce in there.
The soy sauce.
And then the way they describe it is, it's black shit that's blacker than black. It has legs and a mind of its own, and
It can move
Angry.
around. If you don't choose the soy sauce. The soy sauce chooses you. Yeah. And so basically they do this drug that like gives you the ability to travel sideways in time and space, and like
and dimensions.
see, this is why it's hard to explain. Like it's done very well in the book, and good enough in the movie, but they have 500 pages to do it.
Yeah, they talk about taking the soy sauce is like plugging your head into a SETI antenna, the intergalactic ones they got out in space, and just receiving all those channels into your brain.
And yeah, at one point, the whole outside of the movie, it's John talking to a reporter telling him the whole story, and the reporter's played by
Reporter's Paul
Dave
Giamatti.
talking to a reporter.
yeah, what'd I say, John?
Yeah,
Dave talking to a reporter who's Paul Giamatti,
Yeah.
and
perfectly cast.
perfectly cast.
Yeah, Paul does good.
No,
From
like
what I
he-
remember from the movie, yeah, he does good.
Well,
From the book though.
from the
it's like,
if you read the
okay.
book, you can like when I read the book now, I picture Paul Giamatti when I picture Arnie, and so like you can tell throughout the movie and the book that Arnie's just not buying the story. He's
yeah, because they do play by the pretext as well, from Constantine, where they say, once you see them, they can see you, sort of deal.
Yeah, okay.
Because they remember names and faces and stuff like that. The demons and interdimensional creatures.
Damn.
But yeah, so he's explaining this story to Arnie, which is Paul Giamatti the whole time, and it's going in and out of these stories, and there's a cop that's along with him, and it starts with him interrogating David, and then showing up to burn the trailer down of the Jamaican, where David goes to get the second dose of the sauce, and then they run into him again towards the conclusion of the story, and he's like, yeah, man, I've been on this case for 48 hours and blah, blah, blah. And he kind of saves him a little bit. But then he, bursts open and he's full of the bugs that, Justin was full of.
yeah, Justin being shitload because all those bugs like buzzing around in his head, and that's why they call me shitload, because there's a shitload of us in here, yo.
This definitely sounds like kind of a trippy movie. I don't know.
It is. It's a very
Super hard to explain.
it's like just explaining it. I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah.
And the movie definitely isn't as good as the book. Like they basically take the first third of the book, and the last 20th of the book and make a movie out of it. Like, they leave out a huge, vast information overload. You know, like, there's just so much that doesn't get translated to the movie. And it's a shame. It's a great movie, but it could have been so much better, I think, as, like, a running TV show.
Every time I hear the title, I always think of John Tucker Must Die.
Yeah.
For some reason, like,
Not
I
even
just...
close.
Oh, I figured. That's where I'm stuck, though, every time I hear it.
And there is a sequel to the book called This Book is Full of Spiders. And it's actually better than the first one, I think. Or
Yeah.
at least it's structured better.
Especially because they get into the different characters. You get to be David for a little bit. You get to be John for a little bit. You get to be Amy. You even get to be Molly the dog, which is named Bark Lee in the movie.
Really pisses me off.
Dumb.
Because Molly's actually almost like the fourth main character. Like, there's even a chapter through Molly's perspective.
But that's in Spiders, right? That's not.
Yeah,
Day
it's
Day.
in Spiders.
Did you see the movie first before you read the book as well, Justin?
Yes, yeah. I saw the movie at a friend's house.
I think
and
we probably
then-
saw it for the first time at the same time.
Probably. And then you were like, "Oh, dude, the book." And then I listened to the book, and it just changed my life. I was like, "Jeez, this is incredible."
Aside from Paul Giamatti, is there any other, like, big name actors? I didn't
guy-
recognize the two that I saw there.
The guy who plays
Marconi.
Marconi is kind of big. Let me look it up.
I know I've seen him somewhere, but I don't know where I recognize him from. So Marconi is this character, and he's basically like a televangelist, except he's like really about it. So he hosts these seminars for people, and he's like, "Oh, you talk to your dead relatives and family," and so the
Clancy
way.
Brown.
Oh,
Clancy
yeah.
Brown.
Yeah, he's a big name.
Marconi.
Mr. Krabs.
Meet again. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Clancy Brown.
Yeah,
Starship
he's
Troopers.
really well cast. I think John and Dave are really well cast. It's definitely John.
Dave's one of the guys that's in a lot of the rocket jump stuff. And then I forget where I've seen John before.
See, now I saw the movie a long time ago when you first told me to watch this, and I didn't really. Who's the main guy that you see? The weird-looking kid.
Chase Williamson?
Yeah, I was not big on his acting.
Well, it's not necessarily his acting, I don't think. It's actually who Dave is as a character.
Yeah, it's
Like,
him trying to portray David.
Dave is a
I don't know if I liked it.
very self-loathing, anxious. He's very much a hero that doesn't want to be a hero.
Yeah.
He's like thrust into this. This gets thrust upon him. He doesn't even do the soy sauce on purpose. He finds the needle that John did, put it in his pocket, and that's one of the good scenes of the movie. He's talking to this
man.
priest. He's like talking to this priest, trying to talk about John. You know, what should John do, and you know, what does he say? Like, do you believe in demons or demonology? And he's talking to the priest, and the priest is like, well, you know, if your friend needs a psychologist, I got a brother-in-law who's very good. And you know, they're talking, and all of a sudden Dave goes, ow, and like the needle in his pocket pricked him, and all of a sudden the effects of the scene change, and what the priest starts saying is different, and he's like, I think we both just need to admit it, son.
You're fucked. Your mom writes on the walls and shit, David Wong.
Yeah, and like he's like, I don't think you can help me anymore, and like hangs up the phone, and then he starts fucking tripping, and then gets pulled into the police. John gets pulled in, and that's where shit starts going crazy.
Oh, man. All right.
Did this go to theaters?
No,
No.
I don't
Did
think
you
so.
go to theaters?
It might have done some
I don't know.
theaters, but
Right.
you know.
Did you guys ever see Phantasm?
Like the old horror movie?
Yeah.
With the tall man? Or thin man?
Yeah, it's like the balls that fly around.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, but no, I've not
Same
seen
director, Bubba Hotep.
it. No, but I know what that is.
Same director.
Okay.
Phantasm, that's an old one, man. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, that's... You're going way back with that one.
So, yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely not as good after you read the book. So if you're gonna read the book or watch the movie, definitely go movie then book.
Yeah. The movie's a solid advertisement, though. If you're not sold on John dies at the end and you're like, I guess I kind of want to know what it's about, it's, you know, you're getting the first, theoretically, half the book. So it's, you know, I'd say it's worth it in that respect if you think it's a book that's going to interest you with all the strangeness and the cosmic horror and things like that.
I think one thing they do really good in the movie is
And even the comedy.
Dave's in his head a lot. So like he'll say something, and then they've got a way in the book to where you can tell what he's saying and what he's thinking. I think what he's thinking is in italics or something. It's very clear when he's talking and when he's thinking, and they do a good job of that in the movie, where he'll say something, and he'll think something at Arnie. Like Arnie won't be able to understand what he's thinking, but like you can
zoom in on his face and narrate over it, or things like that.
It's really good.
This is like really under the radar movie. Like
Yeah, definitely.
it almost had like a cult following. You know, like a.
The first time I
certain
saw it
fan
was at
base.
Walmart, and the title just caught me. You know,
John dies at the end.
Like,
John dies
such
at
a
the end.
such a meta title. Like I had to know what it was about.
You're like, I got to pick up this book and
Well, as the
skip
movie,
to the last page and.
And just so everybody knows, spoiler alert: John does not die at the end. I know
He's
it's the
already-
burning question on your mind.
he's lived through 2 books now.
Have they said anything about filming a sequel to this with those guys?
I kind of hope not.
Oh, really?
I would like to, as much as I hate reboots, I would love a Netflix reboot.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
And I would love for it to go from J-Date, John dies at the end, to spiders. Like,
Right.
and this book is full of spiders.
So you're saying,
And he's writing
you
the
want-
third book right now.
So you're saying you would want J-Date to be rebooted on Netflix and then go into Spiders, or go off
One
of
one
this
continuous
series?
story. John dies at the end, TV show, start at the beginning of J-Date, go all the way through spiders. I don't know what the third book's going to be, but
But it's coming, people.
yeah, because he did.
David Wong's on
he
the
did the
table
first
with
2
it.
books, and then he wrote Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits, which might be more up your guys' alley. Like lots of superpowers and kind of like an espionage, superpower, futuristic.
And that's a weird, like, businessy mind games.
You guys actually might like that one a little bit better. If you want to borrow it, I have the book.
Yeah. That one's a great book. To me,
I
it's
just finished
not,
it. I liked it a lot better the second time through as well.
Yeah, I spun it around a couple times. But to me, it's not as good as John Dies at the End and Spiders, but it's still a really great book.
Definitely.
When did the movie come out? This John dies at the end.
2011, 2012?
Oh, okay. So it's within the last few years.
2012.
Okay. Like I said, I think I'm gonna have to rewatch this because I
It's
watched
good.
it like a long time ago, and I probably didn't understand a whole lot of it.
That's the thing about the movie. It doesn't. I don't think it does a good job of explaining the story.
Right.
The whole story.
Yeah.
It's got a story. It's just not the real story. It's just like the little drop
The,
of
like, Cliff
fruit
Notes
juice
version?
from the,
you got,
from
like,
the fruit itself.
What, like an hour and a half of like little samples from the book, and it just doesn't do it justice.
It's not even little samples. It's literally the beginning of the book, skip over the meat of it, and then like the very end of the book.
Where John does not die.
Yeah, it never dies. It's
Well, he
apparently
died-
it was
he
a
did die
running
once.
joke. From what I've come to understand, he wrote it as a series of web stories, like online on his website. And then someone was like, "Hey, this would make a good book." Got it published into a book, and then someone read the book and was like, "Hey, this would make a good movie." Now it's a movie.
And hopefully someone's like, hey, this would be a good movie to remake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe us, maybe the Cinamen.
yeah.
Stay
That sounds
tuned.
awesome, man.
Jason Pargins, hit us up.
But you guys will have to watch it and read the book first, though.
All right.
So where is this on your tenometer?
I'm gonna give it a 7.
I'm also gonna go with a 7, but the book is a 12.
Yeah, definitely.
On a
okay.
scale of 20,
So
No,
so it breaks the scale. I got you.
goes right off the scale.
Breaks the scale.
Like a strongman did the hammer pound and up to the ding, but it went through the ding.
Broke the ding off.
Yeah.
So if you take anything
It was
away
a-
from this episode, watch
Attack the Block.
watch Attack the Block, watch Constantine, watch John Dies at the End if you want, but definitely read the book.
Yeah. If you're thinking about John Dies at the End, just go for the book.
Yeah, just read the book.
If
You
you,
can watch the movie if you want to, but the book is where it's all at.
if you ever wonder how John lives and does not die at the end, read the book or watch this movie. But you said the author is proud of this. Proud of what they were able to do with this
Yes.
movie. See, I like that. That encourages me more to see it because I feel like that'd be hard to do. You know, like you had this vision writing the 500-page book. The movie does not do it justice, and the author might know that, but he's like, I am very proud of what we were able to do. I stand by it. I'm not one of those guys who's going to disown it. That to me is honorable in itself. You know, I'm glad he's not just like, ugh, we tried and made a horrible disaster. I don't even want to talk about it. You know,
You did
like,
Alan Moore.
yeah. didn't Alan Moore cry over everything just because it wasn't his video. So that makes
The guys who made the original Avatar were really disappointed with the movie. Like they don't even talk about it.
the original Avatar.
No,
the
not
Airbender.
Avatar: Last Airbender. The good Avatar, not
Okay.
the good cartoon
The
Avatar.
creators of the TV show.
Yeah.
Watched the. Okay, yeah. So I was like, James Cameron didn't.
They don't
his
even like.
Avatar movie?
They won't even like talk about the movie.
I imagine.
Were they?
They were
Were
consultants.
the people? Oh, they were
They
consultants.
they kept offering their input, but nobody would listen. M. Night Shyamalan wouldn't listen to what they were trying to say,
Oh, that's insane.
and eventually they just stopped trying and pretended like it didn't ever happen.
M. Night Shyamalan. I think I knew right off the bat he wouldn't listen.
And then they went on to make
M. Night
Legends of
Shyamalan.
Korra or something, another show, and
The
it
TV
did
show?
really well.
Yeah.
And so they were, whatever.
M. Night Shyamalan to me is you got to know he's too. I do everything myself, write, direct, produce, score.
His ship is sailed.
Yeah, he just thinks he's like a one man show. It's like I think your best work came and went, but you've had 4 or 5 flops since like Signs. So
Yeah,
know,
he's
and Will
a-
Smith couldn't save your career, so I don't know.
Oh,
What to
I
tell
forgot
you.
about that one. Yeah.
After Earth, I turned it off, man. I
never
couldn't
saw
make it
After
after the
Earth.
movie. So you never saw it?
No.
Yeah, you're not missing anything.
Cool.
Tyler,
I was
did you-
gonna ask what it's about, but fuck it.
Do you ever see After Earth?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, no. Nick, did you finish it?
I heard it was
I've
a
never
turd.
started it.
Like I said, I made like 20 minutes, wasn't feeling it, turned it off.
It looked
I've-
cool though. That's the annoying thing.
I just hear that Unbreakable's really good. Signs is obviously really
Unbreakable's
good.
good.
The Village.
Villages, I like. Villages.
Yeah, I like
Sixth
I like
Sense?
The Village. Sixth Sense is obviously one of his biggest ones. Lady in the Water, I didn't think was all that bad.
Never caught that one. There were so many like ladies in and around water movies coming out at that time. I forget what all there was. It was like Dark Water and stuff like that. And I was
Right.
like, I'll pick one and ride it.
I saw The Happening with Mark Wahlberg. That
I
was
didn't.
weird.
I didn't think that was.
Yeah, I didn't
I
care
thought-
for it.
bad. I didn't think
liked
it was
it.
great.
I thought it was an interesting
It
concept.
was just this huge interesting concept, and Wahlberg the whole time's like, man, we just gotta accept that the world's gonna fight us back, guys. You know,
You really do.
say hello to your mother for me. You know, just like
You do a good Wahlberg.
I,
do a
it
good
was just
Wahlberg.
like, dude,
I hate to hear him be made fun of though, because I do like.
He is
Mark
such the
Wahlberg.
man, but yeah, you do
you know, if
a
you-
good exasperated just.
A mean one.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Yeah, I just was not feeling it.
Like the trailers made it look so cool. How people are just like killing themselves,
Like
but then
falling
you
down.
find out they're
Yeah.
like the flowers are fighting back and we've got to run. I'm like, I don't. What'd you just say?
No, that part's fine. I'm sure the book was good.
It's
Oh,
based
sure.
off a book.
For days.
The
Stephen
Happening?
Sting. Yeah.
Oh,
Stephen Sting. Stephen King.
The Happening is based off a book.
Yeah, it's a Stephen King book,
I had no idea.
and I'm sure it was great. Stephen King.
Like in the
love
movie,
you.
they basically say flowers are fighting back.
No,
we gotta
plants.
run from it.
Yeah,
Plants, not
it's-
just flowers. They're not like giant
Foliage is
I don't
fighting
know,
back.
guys. My garden's fighting back on me. Who knows what to do?
Come on. Plants
Sometimes
can
the
already
roses
give
and the dandelions just get to fighting. I
Think
don't
about
know.
poison, poison ivy. I mean, plants have an effect on the ecosystem, a big effect.
you valerian root that's in your
All of our
some
carbon-
your drugs that you're taking.
All of our carbon dioxide that we breathe out, or is it monoxide? Which one is it?
Yeah, but it makes it sound like the
Why not?
foliage is grabbing like swords and shields, and they're just fighting. They're just fighting us all.
No,
we're
it didn't
outnumbered.
didn't even
They're fighting
Starks
back
make
and they're
that
killing us.
implication.
Yeah, they
It's-
do. They're like
Isn't
they're
Zooey-
killing us.
isn't
No,
Zooey
it's
Deschanel
pushing stuff
in
out
Happening?
into our
Zooey?
brains. That's
They're
Zooey.
riding
making
in
us
on
kill
horsebacks and they're
ourselves.
just
Zoe.
killing
Did I
us.
say Zooey? That was weird.
Said
Zoe.
Zooey.
Zooey.
Zooey,
Zoe
Banjo,
Deschanel.
Kazooie Deschanel.
Deschanel. She was the
Banjo
chick in that,
Kazooie
right?
Deschanel.
And I feel like she's not one to put in such a serious movie too, because
Yeah,
she just doesn't
she
do
she
serious.
she needs to be in
movies.
light, like happy light.
Bubbly,
Especially
like
with
Bubbly,
yeah.
bubbly's that's the word.
Yeah, especially when they start the scene with her, they bring her,
Her and
into the
Katy
movie
Perry.
and she's singing in the shower in the locker room.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg's like, "What's going on in here?"
What are you
Zoe
doing?
Deschanel and
Are you
Katy
listening to
Perry
my
should
headphones? Am I
play
ever going to get them back?
sisters. I think.
Zoe and Katie.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Who?
Zoe Deschanel
Deschanel.
and Katy Perry. I think they'd make good
Katy
sisters.
Perry.
Didn't
They're both good
Gyllenhaal?
looking.
Didn't Gyllenhaal and who looks like Jake Gyllenhaal? Is it Tobey Maguire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't they play in a movie called Brothers or something?
They were.
Yeah, with Natalie Portman.
yeah,
That's
that's what.
hilarious.
Is that what it's called? Brothers? Yeah.
One of those movies that like
It's like a war
the
trauma.
brother
movie.
has like a wife / girlfriend / spouse, and then he dies, and then the brother like just picks up where he left off with the wife, and I'm like, I hate those movies.
Well, the ground looks already late. Oh, what do you think is gonna happen to you?
If that ever happened to me, I would kill him.
You'd be dead.
Then I'd fucking haunt him. Okay, I'd haunt him. I'd haunt her. I'd haunt whatever kids they have. Wouldn't be a happy life. You might as well just leave her now and give her back.
It happens in that other suck film, The Wolfman. I saw that again the other day. Oh my god, I regretted it.
Everything about that movie strikes me cool except that part.
I had a problem with a lot of that.
Well,
movie.
we're gonna get a new Wolfman, aren't we?
We are. I
are.
mean, they're throwing it around right now.
First, we get a new mummy with
That'll be
not
cool.
Rachel Weisz, who is in Constantine.
Have they cast any of these yet? Hey.
The Mummy?
Yeah.
The Mummy just wrapped filming, so they're in
Ah.
post production now. Tom Cruise is like the guy.
Tom
Also-
Cruise.
Tyler, you just hush.
Just let him do
Just
his thing. He's
hush.
going to be Tom Cruise.
You know,
for
there's a
little bit.
DJ named Tom Cruise.
Yeah. He was at Euphoria,
He was
wasn't he?
Euphoria. Yeah, I don't think we saw him. We probably saw him.
I think we did.
I don't
there
remember.
there had to have been a point where we were like, oh, dude, Tom Cruise, let's check it out.
Yeah.
I would like to see Constantine brought into like the DC world.
You don't
somehow.
even know.
That
You
would
haven't
be
seen
super
it.
dope.
Well, you may because Doug
speaking
Lehman
my
has
ass
been
so
attached to direct the Dark Universe, which is Justice League Dark,
Right.
which is Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna, Deadman, and Etrigan.
That sounds
It's-
cool. I don't know
so
I don't know
many,
most
yeah.
of those people, but that sounds cool.
It's like
life.
a Justice League for like supernatural threats and like magic
I'm in.
threats and stuff like that. Because
Yeah,
Superman's
I'd
weak
be-
against magic.
I'd be all over that. So
So it's sort of like Suicide Squad as far as like they're weird and bad and like
I'm in.
different, but like Justice League in the sense
I
that
said
they
I'm in, Nick.
form up.
is there a
Hey, the Sinners might not be in.
was
They
it
might
harder
not be
than you
sold.
thought to choose 3 to 4 movies to watch?
Yeah, did you have like
Did you guys
any
have much-
others you didn't get to have us watch?
Because I know I was really trying to stay away from stuff that we might cover in the future or stuff that we've already covered. Something.
That's why, if I can speak for Justin, that's
Proceed.
that's that's one reason Attack the Block I think fit really well is because it's like a great movie that we didn't necessarily have a spot for, and since you haven't, you did actually watch that one, okay? So maybe we'll get to tackle it again, but
What movie?
Attack the Block.
Oh yeah.
And then
was a good one.
John Dies at the End is just something that we
Yeah, something I really
are
enjoyed that
into.
I wanted to push.
Right. Did you? Were there any like runners up? Like if you could have extended this to 4 or 5 movies, would you have?
Yeah, I forget what it was. I wanted to tie in a comedy, and then there was an action movie that I wanted to bring in. But once TJ was like, "Oh, hey, did you think about Attack the Block?" I was like, "Oh yeah, Attack the Block." And then we already had John Dies at the End on there, and I was like, theme plus Constantine,
Just kind of all came together.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome. Attack the Block was definitely cool. Constantine sounds fucking awesome. Like I don't know what the haterade is all over Port on that. So, and I've seen John Dies at the End once. I do need to re-see it. That way, I feel like I can do it justice. But Sinners, this was Justin's birthday episode. We definitely don't get enough of him, so it's glad. It's a special moment when we get to have him here on the podcast. So all of you pay your respects and listen, okay? So,
Yeah, it's good to be here with you guys. I really appreciate you having me on the show and doing my little birthday bash extravaganza.
your little birthday bonanza
Doing your little turn on the catwalk.
on the catwalk.
Heads up to August
I'm
birthdays, guys. Sorry,
It's
Tyler.
my 50 minutes of fame.
We'll get to you sometime.
January.
Sinners, we can all comment and laugh
Hey,
at the
don't
guy
worry.
who
In January,
doesn't
I'll
have an
put you
August
guys through some
birthday.
shit. Don't worry.
So,
You'll make us watch all the fun stuff, I'm sure. That might be the week that I'm like, oh, I'm going to take an off week that week. Sorry, guys.
No.
No.
Not granted.
I'm calling
Denied.
yeah.
he's gonna be
Mandatory podcast this week,
Mandatory.
guys.
Tyler's
Damn
gonna, I got all Edgar Wright movies. I have all.
We've already done Edgar Wright.
I
Thank
want you
God
guys
Nick
to
wasn't
watch-
around for that.
Man,
want you
yeah, I
guys to
think I
watch The
dodged one
Room.
there. Yeah,
Yeah. So it's gonna be a good time, man. Sinners, as always, share, like, comment, spread the word. We had a lot of fun with this episode. I hope you guys go back and watch some of these too, or rewatch some of them if you have not seen them. If you say you hate the movie, give it another try because your mind will be changed. Guarantee it every time. So, and as always.
What? Guaranteed every time to change your mind.
Yeah. That's the thing.
We almost got to ride right past that.
I,
Glad you said something.
I didn't know if I was going to let it go or not.
Thanks, guys.
All the looks were like,
no
well,
man.
we're going with it. If you rewatch it, it will change your mind, guys.
Guaranteed every time.
I don't know if that was a good salesman pitch or just.
I don't know
or
what that was.
I think it was awesome. What
That
it
was
was.
unique.
But you guys probably just couldn't handle all this.
I think that's probably it.
Too
That's
much.
probably it.
Senders, you can comment on how much Cinaman Nick just doesn't get it.
Tell me how much I don't get. I'm not even sure.
Don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.